Hello everyone, welcome back to Lucky15, and I'll be giving you my Lucky 15 predictions for tomorrow's horse racing action, as usual here on the channel. Before we get stuck into tomorrow's selections, I'll just quickly reflect on the Irish Grand National, which was our latest vlog. Unfortunately, we couldn't find the winner in the end. It was General Principle that won for Gordon Elliott, giving him his first win in the race. It was a very exciting finish as well. I thought Bales Hill had the race wrapped up, come into the last. He'd been travelling very strongly throughout the race for Willie Mullins, but in the end when he jumped the last he was just so tired and he had nothing more to give, and in the end they were all running him down and it was a blanket exciting finish in the end. And General Principle came up on top. Our two selections that we flagged up, kind of what the statistics were showing, what kind of things you needed to watch out for, were Monbeg Notorious and Maldini. Monbeg Notorious did manage to plug round, but he finished in a very distant 8th place in the end, and he was the last one to finish. Maldini got pulled up, but so did a lot of other horses as well. There was only 8 horses that finished in the end. It was a very much a slog out there, very testing conditions, and that's why they actually abandoned racing at Ferry House today. There's been a lot of meetings being abandoned due to the horrible weather over the UK and Ireland over the last few days, where it's just been raining and raining and raining, and the ground's just becoming even more soft and heavy. It's really annoying at the moment as well, because when the ground is just starting to get maybe a little bit of good in its description, there's been a few times over the last few weeks where maybe the course has been described as good to soft, where the rain has just come in and got all that goodness out of the ground, and in the end it's just turned it to soft and heavy again. So we just can't get out of this rut at the moment, but hopefully it's not too long soon before the weather does turn a corner and we can get most of the meetings back on as usual. Anyway, we're going to be getting stuck into the all-weather for our first selection tomorrow, which is going to come from Southwell in the first race there on the card in the 150 with a horse called Dapper Man, trained by Roger Fell, whose horses have been running quite well of late. This horse ran quite well for him last time out, finishing second to a horse of David Griffiths called Archimedes, where it was a very good effort that day. Also as well, the jockey that rode it that day, Tony Hamilton, will take the ride again. I thought I had a very good chance of sticking its head out in front this time. This horse was once rated in the high 70s, but has plummeted down the weights and is still off a very workable mark of 60, which I think is quite good there. Also as well, in its breeding, it's got pedigree which suggests it does really like the sand, and it obviously showed a little bit of form, finishing second over the course and distance last time. So it should like the fibre signed at Southwell, and I thought in this field, being only 4 years old, even though it has run a few times, there was still maybe a lot more to come from this horse, and we haven't seen its full potential yet, and it could definitely bounce back to maybe the early promise it once showed when it was rated as high as the late 70s. So for me, 11-4 tomorrow, I thought he wasn't a bad bet to be stuck in a lucky 15, and he's going to be our first selection tomorrow at Southwell. Our next selection then sees us wait a few hours and we go on to the Irish flat meeting at Leopardstown. Hopefully this one does go ahead, and it's a listed race tomorrow. They've got quite a nice little card on at Leopardstown tomorrow, and the horse we're going for is called Bracken. Is a favourite at the moment, but I think it is a very solid favourite. Round about 2-1, best odds with many bookmakers at the moment. Has won over this course and distance before and does go well fresh. Trained by Joe Lyons and Colin Keane, who are a very, very good combination to follow. You might remember last year Colin Keane won the Irish Jockeys Flat Championship, beating Pat Smullen on the final day. So very, very good jockey. Still very young as well, and probably a lot more to come from him. And also as well, this horse will like the conditions tomorrow. That's something you really have to handle at the moment with, like I said earlier, the conditions being soft and heavy. It'll go well. And also as well, in this field, he met them last time and he absolutely destroyed them. He had 3 of the rivals in the race tomorrow behind him when they last raced. So I thought there was a lot to like about Bracken. Brendan Bracken, I should say, and for me he's definitely a good bet tomorrow, and I'm going to tip him up as our second selection in the 5:30 at Leopardstown. We then stay at Leopardstown over in Ireland for the last race on their card with a horse called Prove the Point, priced up around about 6-1 with bookmakers at the moment, trained by Michael Mulvery, and Gary Carroll takes the ride tomorrow. This stable's been in not bad form of late. They had one winner out of their last 4 runners in the last fortnight, so they have saddled winner of late and the yard must be in a little bit of good form. Gary Carroll takes the ride tomorrow, and he knows how to get the job done. This horse has been running not too badly over the winter on the all-weather surface in Ireland at Dundalk, so it should have the fitness to cope against a lot of these rivals tomorrow. Also as well, if you look back at its form, it does like the testing conditions. It has won on heavy and does put in some good runs on this kind of ground. So I thought around about 6-1 tomorrow. He wasn't a bad bet to be taken on in this field, and I'm going to be sticking him in as our third selection tomorrow. We then go to Kempton, back to England on the all-weather for our last selection in the 7:15 with a horse called Freebe Rocks, trained by Michael Bell, and Oisin Murphy takes the ride tomorrow. Both stable and jockey are in very good form. Currently priced about 11.2 bookmakers at the moment, so I thought that was quite a fair price to be taken there. Got a good draw tomorrow as well. Something you always need to be when you race at Kempton is normally towards the inside, and he's got a good plum draw there. Also as well, this horse had a gelding operation last year, and he's definitely reaping the benefits of that. He's won quite a few starts since he's had that gelding operation, so he's been running very well. He's been backed into favouritism the last 3 runs. He also won at Kempton 3 starts ago, which I think is another good statistic to be taken in when you're racing at Kempton. Lots of previous course winners always run really well there. You don't get normally one-off freaks that do win at Kempton and then never win again. So for me, I thought Freebe Rocks at 11-2 tomorrow was a good thing, and he's going to be our last selection that's going to round off our tips for tomorrow. So if you've got any tips tomorrow, or you're feeling like you're going to have a bet, let us know in the comments below what you fancy tomorrow. Also as well, please subscribe to the YouTube channel if you haven't done so already. Thanks for all the new subscribers. Thanks to the Irish Grand National. Really appreciate all your support. Also as well, if you're not aware, you can follow me on Twitter at Lucky15. You can also check out my Facebook page as well, but it's not very active, to be honest with you. But I will try and get it more active one day, I do promise. So that's all I got to say. Please gamble responsibly, and I'll see you soon.